The zombie apocalypse is a rich format for telling stories, one that's already well established and highly conducive to gaming. Most people are drawn to the genre because they give the gamer a safe way to experience the chaos of a social breakdown. Cannibalism, infectious disease, alienation between groups, betrayal. Tapping into a multitude of phobias in a zombie game can be tricky in a sense that there are so many zombie games out there in the market already. I also suffer from zombie fatigue every now and then, and as long as titles with new ideas and gameplay mechanics continue to flesh out the concept of a zombie Armageddon game, players will keep on playing them. Question is, what's so unique about this game? And what's the gameplay and game mechanic like? And what's the story about? If you're curious about any of those questions and more, then join me in taking a sneak peek at Dying Light 2. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the latest sneak peeks, ultimate preview of upcoming games. I know how valuable your time is, and my goal is to deliver highly researched and highly edited content, cause you deserve nothing less. And with that out of the way, let's get back to Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2: Stay Human is an upcoming action-adventure game developed and published by Techland. Techland's first zombie parkour game left a lasting impression and received decent post-release support. The game was a commercial success, amassing more than 17 million players by the end of 2019. There are a lot of people excited about this game, myself included, and after numerous delays, internal issues at Techland, and years of waiting, the sequel is just around the corner. What's the story about? The story of Dying Light 2 is entirely separate from the original. It follows a new protagonist and is set in a new location named The City, 20 years after the event of the first game and 15 years after the apocalypse. You play as Aiden Codwell, who is searching for his sister that he was separated from prior to the game's events. Without giving too much away, the GRE, the Global Relief Effort, is a humanitarian organization that appears after the outbreak in Haran in the original game, with ties to the Ministry of Defense. The GRE was responsible for Aiden and his sister being separated. Both Aiden and his sister were experimented on by the GRE in their youth, which may lead to a revenge plot of sorts in Dying Light 2. The GRE's involvement in the narrative will occasionally take a back seat, and Dying Light 2 gets far more interesting with the introduction of various factions within the city. Survivors, peacekeepers, renegades. These three factions struggle for position within the city, and players will have to ally themselves to make different choices on who to help, making friends and enemies through the process, all along dealing with the undead. Dying Light 2 has a functioning ecosystem where the city will change depending on whether you choose to carry out a faction's orders, with each choice impacting a wider ecosystem. The game also has a day and night cycle. Creative director Adrian Szynski said, "When the night comes, the world changes completely. Humans rule the city during the day, but the streets are overrun with infected at night. The floor is lava, basically, and you should stay on rooftops, and if you jump to the ground level, it's gonna be painful. You'll be pursued and encounter screamers." Crafting in the game is being expanded, and there will be around 50 new combos you can apply to the weapons. There will also be a black market that will most likely sell you blueprints for your weapons and drugs to give you extra power. The grappling hook is back and is joined by a paraglider. Both will be upgradable based on the story choices you make and the facilities you upgrade. Dying Light 2 will have double the parkour moves of the original, including going through windows, pole vaulting, and swinging on ropes or lines. They also combine combat and parkour moves together, breaking up the cycle of running and stopping to attack enemies. The emphasis is on melee combat, but there are ranged weapons, and through the trailers and cinematics, the ranged weapons will be based on bows and crossbows, rather than pistols and rifles. Pistols and rifles will give you unwanted attention. Progression in-game uses a skill tree, agility, power, survivor. 3 core pillars of Dying Light 2 will give you access to passive stat boosts and gameplay enhancements. To progress in those trees, you simply have to do the things that associate with that particular activity. The city map is 4 times bigger than the original game, and has roughly about 20 hours of core story content and about 100 hours of total content in all. The game runs on the C engine, and Techland's proprietary engine was built to be highly scalable. The game will have a performance mode on console focusing on high frame rates. The game will be released on February 4th, 2022 on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, the Xbox Series, and PC. It will also have a cloud version available for the Nintendo Switch. What are your thoughts on Dying Light 2? Is this a type of game that's suited for you? Comment down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and check out my last video, Sifu. And as always guys, thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm Az, and thanks for watching.